Hi everyone, it's Roger here from DisKingdom.com, and we have got episode number 42 of the Infinity and Beyond webcast, and we have got myself here in London, and we also have got Abe there in sunny California.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And there was one of those little things that I just pressed the go, and Abe goes, just a second, at which point I've already pressed the button. So we have got episode number 42. We have got loads and loads of Disney Infinity 3.0 news to go through this week. And we're going to be discussing combat. We're going to be talking about the Toy Box expansion games. We're going to be talking about Star Wars, and we're also going to be throwing in a little bit of, I'm going to be throwing in a review of the Vita version for Disney Infinity 2.0, which I just got this past week. So, Abe, have you had a good week this week?
Yep, it's been good. Lots of good info. Yeah. That's boring here. What about you?
Oh, it's pouring down here as well. So yeah, it could be the same. I think that the Game Informer information still keeps sneaking out. We had the Toy Box TV Live recap, which we quickly go through bits and pieces as well. Just loads and loads of news is coming out. Just a very unexpected amount of news. I think we're still like 2 weeks on from announcements, and the amount of information still coming out so quickly is pretty good.
It's a little overwhelming. But...
Yeah. So we're going to run through. So what different things we're going to be talking about include the Mickey and Minnie, the Toy Box details, classics versus prequels, combat, Toy Box TV, and the Vita review. So as I said, lots and lots of stuff to go through this week. So let's get straight to it. Now, we actually did a little discussion on the first two subjects on the recent DisKingdom podcast that we do every couple of weeks. But we're going to go for it again because different audience, and we can talk about it a little bit more depth. So first off, let's talk about the Toy Box Speedway. So you want to throw that your idea up about the Toy Box Freeway?
Toy Box Speedway?
Yes.
It's a welcome change. I mean, obviously, that's one of my biggest complaints that I've had with the game since. I mean, 1.0, I always thought the driving was a little off, but 2.0, I was hoping for some improvements and especially some adjustment through the Toy Box, but unfortunately, nothing either. But no, this is great. Obviously, it's an expansion, so I would say so far, since we don't know too much more, but sounds like an equivalent to a Toy Box game disc, except it's no longer called that. It's an expansion now. But it looks very promising. I do like the fact that they are going beyond the capability of the Toy Box, because even though the Toy Box allows us to build so many things, it is still a little limiting as opposed to it's a little limiting if you have the developers using it to build something. I would much rather have them build video game quality experiences, and that way we can enjoy them. But anyways, based off of what we saw from Game Informer in the video, I mean, it looks great. The just like they said from Sumo, they've definitely tightened the driving. It's very obvious in the video. I do like these tracks. They're themed to properties we all enjoy. It's not just Star Wars, but it was this cool Frozen one. I'm looking forward to the one that the guys who worked on it they fought to keep it in, which was the Monsters Inc. one. That's going to be pretty impressive. But other than that, I mean, I love it. I think that's one of the most things I'm excited for 3.0 aside from Star Wars, obviously.
I mean, as well as they sort of said that they're going to be, I think the actual piece is going to look a little bit more like a playset piece. It's not going to be just a triangular pyramid. I think they're trying to make them look a little. On the live stream, he said you like the look of the new expansion things, that they're a different shape.
I must have missed that part. Okay.
So I think, and if they're going to be sold separately, and we only know about two. Now, there could be more, or this could be it. I think this is a way for Disney to be looking at how to make the game cross areas. I think the whole thing of the playsets being set for Pacific universes and the toy box being everything, there was a huge gap in the middle that people wanted structured gameplay, and I think these toy box game discs are the way to go, or the expansion packs, whatever they want to call it. It's just one of those things. I think it's a great idea. I think the racing for me is a huge. I've always enjoyed the racing I've always enjoyed the Mario Kart games, so I enjoyed the racing from the first one. I still think Cars was probably one of my favorite playsets from 1.0. Mm-hmm. I still like if I've got a race going on, I do like to throw on the Cars characters, because I still think Lightning McQueen is a great character for the game. But with 2.0, it was identical. They slowed up the racing was improved in 2.0. I thought it was a lot easier to use in 2.0. I didn't fly off the track as much. It was a lot more stable, but it felt like they slowed down a little bit, which was fine for me. I must admit I did a lot better on racing than I did on the first one. So I'm really excited about this because I really enjoyed the racing. So I think it's just a really cool way of expanding Disney Infinity.
Yeah, I didn't feel the racing got tighter at all. In fact, I still racing to this day. I will, if there's a wall next to the track, it'll get stuck. Instead of bouncing off, it'll actually get stuck. I don't know. But anyways, whatever. 3.0 looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to just seeing a whole new race kind of thing coming in. One of the other toy box discs that they're talking about, I've got to get used to the new terminology, is the Takeover. Right. So this one is it's called the Takeover expansion pack. It says the premise of the toy box Takeover and the source name villain Takeover is that Incredible Syndrome got the hand on the Infinity one, and he's using it to create his own world. Syndrome starts pulling in together worlds from Star Wars, Pixar, modern and classic. So this is kind of feels like a bit of a dungeon crawler, which is what they refer to it as being improved over Escape from the Kill.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your first thoughts on this one?
Well, first off, I mean, I also did read that, they wanted to get a closer feel to what Diablo is for a dungeon crawler, meaning, you don't just go in and just fight a bunch of the same, and not to mention the same villains, but not also the same strength. Like, they don't get difficult over time. It's just all stagnant. But anyways, it's a great idea. I do like the fact that it's going to be better than Escape with Kill, because I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just obviously it felt the same throughout all 10 levels, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And aside from that, I do think the whole concept of Syndrome stealing the wand kind of reminds me of what was the game called? Epic Mickey, where the worlds were all kind of mixed up because of the.
Just started playing that in the last couple of weeks on my Vita.
Oh, really? Okay.
Epic Mickey 2, yeah. Just started playing that. So yeah, I can see that.
But I don't know if you show that image. The cool thing that I did enjoy about it, I don't know if it's going to be possible, even though they did say everything in these expansions aren't buildable in the toy box. But there was a picture of the worlds divided in a circle.
Oh yes, that's the toy box upgrades. That's yeah.
Yeah. So what I noticed, it's in a diagonal format, which is kind of interesting to me. I never seen that before. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued. This game definitely looks. Yeah, there you go. There's a pic.
Yeah.
But I'm very intrigued. I mean, like I said, I am a little bit more excited for the Speedway because it's definitely something I've been wanting improved for a while. But this is definitely a welcome change as well. And one thing you did mention, obviously, like you said, it's for structured play. Anybody can enter, as opposed to the toy box game discs. If it was the Marvel one, you can only use Marvel in those. Not the survival mode, but like the story part of the toy box game disc. So
yeah,
it's cool. Anybody can go in now.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I think with these expansions, we don't know too much about the Takeover one yet. We haven't seen any gameplay footage for that yet. I don't think it'll be too long till we get it. They're going to be sold separately around launch. I don't know if they're exactly coming out bang on when. I kind of hoping that there's maybe a month or two gap myself. I think when all the places come out, there's a kind of tendency to get overwhelmed very quickly with, if we've got 3 or 4 play sets and these 2 expansion packs, if it's all out within the first week, everyone just goes crazy just trying to unlock as many toys as possible and maybe not fully experiencing it. So I'm kind of hoping that things a little bit more spread out. Because that's what I found. I found with the first game, I was a bit more indifferent because I brought the starter pack, wanted to see how it played, and got before I brought all the figures and all the play sets. 2.0 is the exact opposite. Everything day one. So I'm just kind of, that's the one thing I'm looking forward to. But no, I'm really looking forward to these Toy Box expansion packs as a new way of doing it, almost like a playset. Oh, it's late there in Los Angeles.
I got an early call time tomorrow, so.
Oh, yeah. So that is a quick look there at the Toy Box Speedway and the Takeover. Also, I did. There's been a couple of questions asked, including by myself, about the Toy Box expansion discs coming from. So the Toy Box discs from 2.0, like the Escape from the Kill, coming to 3.0, and apparently 1 minute it's in, 1 minute it's out, 1 minute it's in, 1 minute it's out, and they're still not 100% too sure. I'm really hoping that they actually get brought into 3.0 because the majority of it is a toy box. Most of it is apparently just something that anyone could make within a toy box. And I think it would offer a little bit more value to those discs going forward. And like I said, if they can be brought forward, I think it's a good option for them to do it and get it, especially if it's a toy box. But that was just something I've seen. What would you think if they were brought forward?
You know, at first I was like, you know, I can care less what they bring them because I feel like if they did, it'll almost feel like it'll be kind of underwhelming compared to the new expansion ones. So it's but at the same time, for those who have never played it, and for those who end up being like the people who power through the whole game within the first week that they buy it, then you're left with no variety of things to do. So the option of being able to revisit something you did in 2.0, which, for example, I spend most of my time. I mean, I'm not a big toy box artist or builder like I wanted to be, but I have noticed that I've spent a lot more time using those toy box game discs and playing multiplayer with friends online. It's a lot of fun doing that survival mode. And so yeah, if I were to sway one way or the other, absolutely, I say bring them forward. I mean, we all want the 1.0 playsets, and obviously now the 2.0 playsets moving forward. But we understand why. Well, at least most of us, or some of us, understand why we can't have that. But
I think at least with those discs, there's not a lot of cutscenes, is there? There's only like 2,
no,
one at the beginning, one at the end.
Exactly.
So it's hopefully not too much of a problem. Okay, so let's go on to our next subject. So while